Hey everybody, it's Sophie and Marco Dish on the Movies, and we are the only YouTube review channel, movie review channel, but we are doing The Biggest Loser this week, that reviews movies in terms of food.
No, this is Sophie and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review showing you do movies towards food.
Okay.
That's how you do it, Sophie.
Yeah, well, okay.
Hey everybody, it's Sophie and Marco Dish Out on the Movies, the only movie reviews channel on YouTube. Channel or show? I'm just effing around, Sophie, because we're talking about The Biggest Loser, a show that's goofy, over the top. It's kind of a rip-off of Survivor. It used to be really popular, and then all of a sudden people realized that it was extremely unhealthy of a show, and they brought it back for some reason. No one knows why, and yeah, and we haven't been doing videos really that much. Well, I mean, I should say not that much. We haven't been doing videos at the right time because a Tuesday before last, I pulled my abdominal muscles, and so I've just been resting for these past couple of weeks, and I'm continuing to rest, and so that's why the videos aren't coming out as normally they would.
All right. Well, you can't say this episode didn't have a few surprises. That's why I liked it. 3 of them were surprising, and then there were 2 non-surprising ones. Can you guess what they are? The first ones are the surprises that nobody expected, especially me. Well, something bad happened, but it turned out it ended up okay. So that's good. And then another unexpected surprise was somebody whom I thought would have moved into the finals didn't pass the final weight check. Totally shocked me, actually. And the third surprise was the 2 most successful weigh-ins belonged to people I wouldn't have given a second chance. In fact, I would have expected one of them to have gone by the end of the day. Okay, well,
Bernie, stop eating that plastic. Bernie,
I don't want to give away any specifics unless Marco says. The 2 least surprising things: first, the female trainer cried again, and a lot. Wow. And of course, there were at least 6 different fragmented songs to lead off each new segment. I hate those song fragments. I really do. They mean absolutely nothing to me and do nothing for the contestants. And by the way, do the contestants ever get to listen to real music while they work out? I suppose they couldn't show that on TV because of all the copyright violations that would ensue. In fact, I remember on Big Brother, they were not even allowed to sing because of the copyright issue. However, when off camera, music is a great motivator. Years ago, I went to numerous aerobics classes where they played music over my lunch break and after work, and I loved it. Well, back to the show. We come to this week's challenge, and that went very badly. No more comments on that. And my observations that I made about the whole show would be, I thought Coach, as I call him, was whiny, self-defeating, and weird. Okay, the next observation was, I believe Kim, the quote older lady from the whiskey state, is being carried because her teammates, of whom one of them, I believe, could win, loses enough weight to carry her along as a teammate. Is that a good thing? Yes, but only somewhat good for her. Is that helpful for her? Is she really learning how to lose weight and keep it off? I'll leave it to Marco to reveal that little nugget of food wisdom that the female trainer gave to her team.
Yeah.
Every week we have been ragging on the show to provide the contestants with more healthful things to eat, but total deprivation of something doesn't teach you anything. So I would give this well, I won't tell my I'm sorry. I won't give my review
Oh.
of the grade of it yet until Marco uh, gives talks about a few things.
Well, the reason I watched the old Biggest Loser a lot, and the reason why we're ragging on this every week is because it could have been so much better. They had a chance to completely redo the show. Things that I didn't like. The Temptations. I just watched an episode of the old Biggest Loser where they had a challenge where if you didn't eat candy, your team would be penalized. And so it's like they're forcing them to eat candy. And to me, that's not even temptation. That's just force feeding. And so to me, they had a chance with this show, and they really fucked it up big time. And they made this like really dull, boring sort of like type of show. I mean, I still really like the show, the old show. It's a very fun show and everything, but this show is like. But actually, this episode was pretty good. It had a lot of funny moments and good stuff, including the coach. He looked very sad and concerned the whole episode, and it was like he likes to make everything about himself, and so it's like, oh, he's worried for the whole team. I think there was like a quote where he's like, and that's my fear for all of us. And like he likes to insert himself into everything, and so he was pretty funny this episode. And then there was this one woman who injured herself, and she ended up losing more weight than everyone else except for one other person. And so I thought that was hilarious. She's handicapped and she's losing more weight than these other people. I mean, it's just embarrassing. And then you have the alien trainer, and she, in the middle of the workout, starts crying. This is like the third or fourth week in a row now that she's had to cry and have a temper tantrum, and it's like, what? I mean, she starts crying. She's complaining that her team has a low morale. Well, then what does she do? She lowers her team's morale even more by starting to cry and break down and be upset, and that's another thing. You think that shit would have ever happened on the old Biggest Loser? You think you think the witch would have gotten on her knees and started crying? No way. She'd rather be caught dead than starting to cry in the middle of a workout. It's a last chance workout, too. And then you have the fitness tip that the alien provided. She provided a fitness tip. It's a bodybuilder's trick, and it's for muscle building. And basically, there's a couple of different routes you can go with this. One of the ways is after you work out, immediately there's a myth that your body suddenly has a window to get more protein into your muscles. And so some people, they think they have to shove food down their throat immediately after their workout, or else the anabolic window is going to go away. And it's just bullshit, to be honest. It's been proven false. But this is a different rumor. She suggests to eat a piece of fruit or something like that, something sugary after your workout to make the blood go into the muscles faster. Well, here's the thing. Then she calls it an emergency kit. And then the old goofy lady, who's like,
she's not that old, but she's older than all the women.
She's old.
Not as old as me.
Old school. And so she said her own emergency kit is she has a bunch of jelly packs saved up in her car from fast food restaurants, which was really queer. But what was even queerer was that the alien trainer was like, "Oh, you got to get rid of that jelly. You know, you're not gonna be having jelly anymore. Jelly, jelly, jelly." And it's like, what? You just told her that after your workout you have to have something sweet, and you're saying that having an apple or a banana is going to be any different than having a pack of jelly? It's the same fucking thing. There's other bodybuilders who, what they would have after their workout, they would have gummy bears. There's other bodybuilders, after their workout, they have a pack of honey with tea. Some honey and tea. You're telling me that that's any different from a little tiny pack of jelly?
She told all of them to don't ever eat any jelly.
That's stupid.
I just thought that was dumb. I don't understand that.
Oh, you're not going to defend her this week, I see. You're going to defend her this week again?
Stupid.
Every single week you have to defend her. I've never heard of that.
Well, I just think that when you deprive somebody of something like that, I mean, if they're not eating anything, it's not like she's having a chocolate bar. She's got a car full of chocolate bars.
I mean, obviously you shouldn't be eating random packs of jelly.
Ew.
But what
ew.
To me, what it sounded like what she was saying was that that would work as a good emergency kit for right after a workout. That wouldn't work, but then an apple or a banana would work better. Like, that's just stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar, and your body isn't going to care what type of sugar it is. And so that was just retarded. And then we have, what else do we have in this episode? Well, the coach, the creepy coach, he lost the most weight out of everybody. And he lost a ton of weight. And it was so weird and hilarious how, like, the person you'd least expect lost the most weight. It's almost like those murder mysteries where the person you least suspect is the killer. And so that was hilarious. And then guess who goes home? The big woman who was like one of the front runners. Like, you saw her face everywhere. They featured her a lot. You thought that she was going to be a finalist. And she got sent home. And I was so shocked about that. And so I actually thought this episode was good. But we still have a lot of crap in it, obviously. Like the songs, the fake songs, where you have a and then the words are, "You can do anything you want," or "There's a flame and it's burning fire," and they'll just have like these random lines, and then the song ends, and then the show starts over again, and that just happens over and over and over again throughout this episode. I mean, even more so than like a lot of other episodes. Is there anything else, Sophie, that I missed when I was talking?
No, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Another surprise, I told you that, well, it was a combination of things. That something bad happened. Well, a girl, one of the ladies, they had to do an obstacle course, and some of it football players do. Part of it, the final part of it, where you step in the tires and you go real fast. The first part of it was you go in the water, but there's a lot of mud in there. And
They called it a mud pit. They didn't call it a water pit.
No, they didn't. But you couldn't tell about.
Yeah, you
really
could not tell. It looked like it was a bunch of dirty water, and then at the bottom there's mud.
Right.
And so there was a woman, the handicapped woman I talked about, who lost a lot of weight. She jumped really hard into the mud pit, and she broke one of her ankles or legs or whatever.
She broke a foot.
A foot. Okay, she broke her foot, and so that was pretty hilarious.
I couldn't believe it.
Because then right afterwards, the coach is standing there, and he's like, he looks really concerned.
There's a bad look on his
And
face.
he's like, "We need you, sweet pea."
And I would have thought she'd be in a lot of pain because you couldn't hear her. She said she heard a snap, and she was in pain right when it happened. But anyway, she had to do modified workouts. I mean, if this had been Survivor or any other reality show, I think they would have gone home. And that's what I thought was going to happen, actually. So, no, she continued to participate. It really shocked me. So that was a surprise. And so she did modified workouts where she sat on a chair, and there's tons of different exercises you can do, but I mean, there are a lot more. They're modified. I mean, completely modified. And so she, as far as losing weight, she came in second place.
I talked about that.
And he already talked about it, but she's the one, she and the coach, they lost the most weight. And when you were watching the show, you never would have expected that from either one, because he was always standing around with a bad look on his face. And she, just because of how she had to work out, but she must have worked her butt off, literally sitting in a chair, because she knew she couldn't do the exercise the way everybody else did. So sitting down, look what she managed to do. I thought that was really great for her, and interesting, too.
Well, what do you give the episode?
Well, the reason why I gave it an A-, because I liked it. There were surprises and things happened that I didn't expect, and a lot. And but the reason why I give it a minus instead of just giving it a good grade is, well, one reason I gave it a good grade pretty much was that I think they're doing a really good job editing. And in other words,
the songs.
Well, no, yeah, well, it's
That's
very
editing.
interesting. The songs all last the same amount of time.
10 seconds.
Okay. Well, I didn't time it, but it seemed to me that they all lasted exactly the same amount of time, and they're only fragments. Even though it's very well edited, I don't like the songs. I hate them.
It's irritating.
Yeah. And then, so that's why I gave it an A-. And I just wanted to say, it was really weird because the day after I watched it, I had to go to the doctor, and the doctor told me I had to gain 5 pounds by July. And the point I wanted to make was that, and he even said, I'd really rather you lose 7. I thought he was insane. Or gain 7, I'm sorry. And my point, I just wanted to say, it's very important, because I don't think this comes up a lot, and that it's hard to lose weight. Like, these people are really seriously trying to lose weight, no matter the surprise of getting money or whatever, notoriety. It's just the fact they have to, for their health and well-being and living a long time. It's hard for somebody to gain weight too who has that kind of issue. So
it's easy.
Actually, it's not.
It's easy.
No, it's not.
It's easy.
No.
It's easy.
Oh. And so I just wanted to say those issues are equal, and for some people anyway, like me, maybe not for somebody else, but for me it's hard. So I just wanted to make that point, because that doesn't come up. You don't have a show. There's not going to be a show where, okay, we have these contestants and they need to gain 25 pounds in 3 weeks, and that ain't going to happen. It's just this thing about losing weight. So, and that's it for me.
I never got to rate it.
No, I know. That's it for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I rate it like a B. I give it a B because I thought it was just pretty good. I'm not going to give it an A. I'm probably not going to give any episode of this shitty show an A. I would give older seasons an A or an A+, but not any episode from this show, because this is just a weird zombie of the original show.
It is weird with those songs and everything.
And then Bob is really quiet. And I figured it out after watching the old show. I figured out he's silent because of the whole heart attack thing, and so I'm not going to criticize him anymore. Like when I criticized him and said he was disinterested, because I can understand he's trying to take it slow, and like on the old show he was like fired up all the time, and so I'm not going to criticize him anymore.
He might have been.
But
He might have been running up his blood pressure.
But
when he was doing that.
it's just a fact that they replaced the blonde woman host with him, and it's a very stark contrast. And it's funny actually, because if you think about it, what if he dyed his hair blonde so that he could be blonde like the blonde girl?
I know.
Like,
I wasn't even thinking about that.
God.
That other girl does. Well, there was one. She was on Sabrina, or about the witch show with the sisters, and there was that blonde girl, Melissa.
No, that's not her.
No, that was the first one, and then the second one was that girl does a lot of Hallmark movies.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she's
And a mystery series.
She's blonde. and that's a reference no one's ever gonna get, who watches this. But that's what's funny is, what if he dyed his hair blonde just to be like her?
I doubt it. He probably, because he had that heart attack, and it really must have been terrible if he was told not to exercise for an entire year. His hair is probably turning gray. And that's probably what did that.
Well,
No,
I
believe me,
actually,
no.
we're going to talk about improvements that need to be made at the end of the season, but for now, I really have to say, they should hire an old contestant from the old seasons. They should hire one of them to be a trainer, or a host of the show, or something like that. They need to get back the old trainers from the old show, because these new trainers, they're just horrible. You have the alien trainer, and then you have
Mr. Self-Absorbed.
I don't want to call him the name that I came up for him in private, because Sophie won't like it, but let's just say it's not a good name, because he's not good. I mean, I don't ever want to see his face again after this show. So
I guess you won't be one of his Instagram followers.
I've followed a lot better fitness people over the years, and he's exactly the type of person that they make fun of. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.